Hey, it's V again, and this time's book is called The Lantern of Lost Memories by Sanaka Hiiragi. I guess this is kind of shorter than the stuff I typically read. This is a translation from Japanese and is technically a collection of three interconnected short stories. So, the overall setting of the book is a really unusual photo studio, which kind of exists somewhere between the worlds of the living and the dead. Like the owner of the studio, Mr. Hirasaka, helps to guide people in this transition process, and he does so by helping them to create a lantern of their most important memories. Like whenever someone comes to through like dies, they come through his shop. Well, I guess not everyone, because I think it sounds like there's actually lots of different photo studios. I assume it's just some of the people who die pass through his shop, and he has them pick one photograph from each year of their life. He'll usually have like this huge delivery of photographs on like everything that happened in this person's um days in the world of the living, and then like he has them go through and pick out one for each year, which they then put together into a lantern that the person watches. And in viewing like these precious moments, I guess it helps them make that transition into the afterlife. It kind of plays off that whole idea of your life flashing before your eyes before you go. It's kind of a related concept, I guess. And since Mr. Hirasaka hasn't actually moved on himself, he can't really answer questions about what comes after, but his job is basically to kind of ease that process as much as possible. So in this particular story, you get three different individuals passing through. The first one is an elderly former nursery school teacher. It talks a bit about like her early days, like when she first began her teaching career. The second person is a Yakuza overseer, and it goes into I guess some of what happened in this relationship he built with an employee, I guess, who has a really unusual ability to fix things. Like the person has like nearly magical, I feel like, affinity for putting things back together. And then the last story is on a girl who was suffering like really serious abuse from her parents. And what's interesting, I guess, from a reader's point of view is that, or for me anyway, you can kind of see how all of these characters' lives, both in the world of the living and like as they're passing through the studio, touched upon one another, including the life of the studio owner himself, which is partly interesting because one ongoing thread, I guess, in the story is that Mr. Hirasaka doesn't remember like anything from his own life. Like he's hoping to encounter someone who can tell him who he was because he doesn't have any photographs of his own. And I guess these short stories come from each person's most important moments, because like when they're going through the photographs, they'll sometimes have pictures that are kind of worn out because they're memories that they revisited in their minds really often, and like anything that you take out and look at a lot, it kind of wears away. So the characters, like both the studio owner and the person who passed away, make a trip back into their past to view like the event and to retake a better photograph, and you get a lot of their reflections along the way. So something that I liked, I think this was kind of a quiet and bittersweet sort of story, though I quite liked it, even though I think it was definitely a bit more the pacing is very everyday life. So if you're in the mood for something like, I don't know, full of action or something, it's probably not the best choice at the time. But I think I appreciated how each of the characters, like, and the stories were really, like, working hard to, like, they're trying to be good people in their own way. And maybe that's a little funny because one of them was like a Yakuza member, but you can see like the kind of care and compassion that they show to the people around them. And that's something that I tend to appreciate and resonates with me. Something I did not like. There actually wasn't really anything I didn't like. I do think like I said, it's a little bittersweet, so a little bit sad, but at the same time, I feel like that you can kind of see hope for like the photo studio owner, like, and so on, in the way the story ends. I wouldn't say it's a little sad, but it's not tragic.